Hello, hello, hello. I'm Angela Odom, and this is Better You TV. Today we're talking about ships. That's right, SHIP with an S on it because we're talking about more than one ship. So we wanted to go ahead and welcome you here. Go ahead and start your watch parties and invite other people because this is really, really good. Let's talk about some ships. I'm Angela Odom, and I focus on helping, serving women leaders who are in positions of power and authority, who are working on themselves, right? Women who are focused on leading themselves first, and then leading others, and then leading organizations. We got about one more minute till we start this thing up. As you come in, go ahead and in the chat, just tell us you're here. Just come on and say hello in the chat. Hello, Angela. How you doing? Hello, hello, hello. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to sign in just a few minutes later, just two, 3 minutes early, so you could come on in. Go ahead and invite your friends and come on in. So I'm Angela Odom, and today on Better You TV. We've been doing Better You TV for, let's see, I think February of 2019. Woo! That's a good thing right there to just keep doing anything for, a month and a month and a month, a week and a week at a time, right? Every single Tuesday here at noon Eastern time. I'm showing up so that I get better, so that I trust myself that I'm going to show up and do, what's best for you. So again, welcome. Come on in as I find myself here on this stream really quickly. Y'all come on in. And so we have one more minute until we start again. I'm Angela Odom, and this is Better You TV. Today's episode focuses on ships, SHIPS, ships. And that's what we're doing today. We're focusing on ships. Almost there. Okay, here we go. And I see. Today's episode focuses on ships. Let me turn this all the way down so I can see. Okay, here we go. And let's go out of here so I can see this. All right, I think we're golden. All right, so let's get started. Today we talk about ships, SHIPS. This is Better You TV every Tuesday at noon Eastern time. I'm Angela Odom. I'm a leadership coach. That's the lead strategist of the Better You project. Here to help women leaders grow their skills, right? So, first of all, we talk about ships, and we're talking about ships, and we are if it's several ships, lots of ships, then we might be talking about a fleet, right? We could be talking about an armada, which is a fleet of warships. We could be talking about convoys and flotillas, or formations. And when we think about that, we say, well, what do we want the ships to, how we want the ships to relate to one another, basically, if it's a formation of them, right? How do we want the ships to relate to one another? And that's what we are focusing on today is if it's a fleet of ships, it's a fleet, a convoy, a formation of ships. Now, y'all know I retired from the Army after 27 years, so I like a lot of military terminology. So I'm going to help you visualize. It could be a bunch of tugboats. The last time I was on a ship was a cruise ship with Oprah last year. That was amazing, by the way. So when we think about these different types of ships and how they would relate to one another. For me, I'm not talking about so much those types of warships or flotillas or armadas. I'm not talking about that because really I'm kind of a Scrabble girl myself, right? I'm more of a Scrabble girl, so I like words that end in ship. Like flagship, hardship, dictatorship. I don't really like that word so much. Discipline ship, followership, guardianship, scholarship, workmanship, right? Friendship, battleship, mentorship, courtship, and leadership. And most important of all those ships is relationships. It's the most important of all the ships, relationships. And so that's what we're talking about today, ships. So go ahead and put your name in the chat. Say, hey, Angela, how you doing? Glad to be here at Better You TV. So I'm looking for your comments down here. If you can think of another word that ends in ship, it's like we're playing Scrabble. Not so much if we're on a fleet of ships, right? And so let's start out with 6 different types of ships that we want to focus on. And I'm going to give you a few that I'd like for you to stay away from. And what are we doing? What's the point of this? I'm like, Angela, what are you talking about? What does this have to do with my growth and development? It has everything to do with your growth and development. I want you to actually manage yourself, manage your time, manage your relationships in a way that is a win-win. And that means that my philosophy is that we actually serve others from the overflow. You know, we get the skills that we need based on our innate talents and our circumstances, and then we serve others from the overflow, right? When we are full, when we are able to, capable, willing to serve others. Otherwise, we are depleted and tired and resentful and pissed off, right? Because we can only do so much. So I say, hey, serve others from the overflow. And that's not being selfish. That's actually being a good person, right? You're able to contribute more to others when you get yourself together. So today we're talking about ships. The other thing I want you to take just into consideration, I believe that each of us is the hero in our own story, our own life story. Like I'm the hero of my story, and then you're a bit player. And then in your story, you are the hero, and here I am, the bit player. Hey, Carrie. And so that's the way we see these things. Now, if I start to play a bigger role in your life, then that's because you've asked me to. That's because that's what we've decided to do together, right? So with this whole thing, if it is a movie, you know, that kind of perspective. So if we are to just take a hold of my perspective, where I am the hero in my story, and you are the hero in yours, that's about relationships and boundaries and privacy, right? So let's first start with these ships. One thing I would just ask you not to focus on is growing a dictatorship where you have to have everything your way, right? It's your way or the highway, which means it's nobody's way. That's not going to work for a long time. So a dictatorship, you don't really want that. And so in a work environment, that might look like someone who is new to an organization, may not be aware of the culture itself, and may not necessarily have the expertise to participate fully. And so you might be holding their hand more readily or providing more guidance. And then you want to move away from that, because my way or the highway, once they gain more independence and knowledge and skills and abilities, then that might be too much, right? So just think about that. Let's stay away from dictatorships. And then we want to look at friendships. In the workspace, I have some work friends, but as far as the relationship, then I am not their direct supervisor. I tried that like 2 times, like my real close friends. Like my one close friend who is one of my son's godparents. She worked for me at one point. That was horrible because she was like, ugh. And I was like, ugh. You know what I'm saying? So friendships. And then I think when I was in the Army, you go out partying with the person on one night, and then you get in the morning, they're looking at you like, who are you trying to tell what to do? How are you trying to provide some guidance? You was over there, drinking and stinking and acting a fool, and now you come in here all laced up. Do you like you have, they've lost respect for you in that vein. So friendships, just watch what those friendships look like, because that's about boundaries. Again, privacy also, right? You can have friends in the workspace, but just think about what that looks like the next day, right? And then courtships. We want to just see how we manage courtships in the workspace. First of all, what are the policies on those, right? How does that really work? And of course, love has bloomed in the workspace, but sometimes that might look like courtship to you, and to the other person, it might look like harassment. So courtship in the workspace, you make sure you understand what that looks like and what you're really doing, right? And so what we want to focus on really is 6 ships. We're going to focus on relationships, and not necessarily relationship skills, right? First of all, can you think of any other words that end in SHIP that a leader would choose to focus on? If so, just put those in the comments for me. I'll look for them right now. I'll look for those right now. So we're not talking about relationship skills where we're, focusing on self-awareness and when and how to delegate and to whom, which is a really good skill to have as a leader, knowing when to delegate. And then interpersonal skills or participatory management style. With all that, those are the relationship skills. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about relationship, right? Relationship. And so really, we'll come back to relationship because that's my favorite. Relationship is my favorite, right? It's my favorite topic to discuss. It's my favorite topic to teach and coach and mentor on. Relationships, because that's what this thing is all about. This thing, life, it's about relationships, right? So we'll come back to that. Let's focus on scholarships. And so that's one of the 6. So one of the 6 ships is scholarship. So we talk about a scholarship. That's some entity is going to provide financial support based on merit or need. And I'm going to tell you that all 3 of my degrees were paid for by the Army in some form or fashion, right? So scholarship, I want you to seek that out. The bottom line is I want you to learn more, because everything you know right now is not that all there is to know. And so go and get you some more stuff, technical expertise. You do that by learning and by sometimes sitting in a virtual classroom at this point, right? Or reading a book, right? And so scholarship, you want to be the person who is willing to learn and to know more, not the person that I got it. I understand this. Then you're going to be left in the dirt. You're going to be left looking crazy because things are changing all around us. So scholarship, basically in all of your getting, get understanding, understand how these things work. So you might approach your boss and say, hey, I understand that there's a new workshop coming up. I'd like to go to that. I'd like to attend that. I would like to travel to that place. I could do it virtually. Maybe it's a blended opportunity, or you might just want to get another, degree or some kind of certification. But what you want to do is you want to focus on a scholarship, right? Get more education. Understand how your industry work. Be the person that understands what's coming ahead, right? Be that person. Hey, Mo, we're talking about ships today, Mo. We're talking about ships today, 6 of them specifically. We just started with scholarship. And I know you know all about that because you just got yet another degree just a few months ago, right? Followership. What's that other ship? Followership. And so we want to be good followers. If you're the person that has to be in charge every single place you go, in every environment, under every circumstance, then you're like no fun, man. How is that? If you go to a crab shop and you don't know anything about crabs, and you walk in there and you pretend that you know what you're doing. Shut up sometimes, right? Shut your big old mouth. Learn something. Let somebody else lead you through that, right? So my point is, every leader needs to have some good followers. Now I tell my son the other day, he tells me, hey mom, Jamarcus has his driver's license. Has driver's license 2 months. He says, I want him, he's gonna come pick me up and we're gonna go ride over to the Panda Express. And I looked at him and I said, hold up. You're not gonna be the guy that is sitting in the passenger seat. Get your own license. Oh, by the way, you ain't going nowhere with nobody right now. We're in the middle of a pandemic, fella. Sit down somewhere. Calm your cute self down, right? So followership, not that type of following, just following people to follow. I mean, to be someone that is supportive, to be someone that is able to take a piece of this, a portion of this function, right? And do what you need to do for your boss, right? And everybody's got a boss. I'm retired and I still have bosses. In my community service organization, I have bosses, right? And guess what I do? I support them. I'm a good follower. They have the vision. I focus on my lane, do what I can. I communicate effectively. Everyone should focus on followership. And then when it's time for me to lead, right? Then guess what? I'm going to provide good vision. I'm going to set direction, right? I'm going to make sure that we get results. And they're going to be under the umbrella of the person, the organization that I'm following. I follow with a smile on my face. Sometimes it's like, oh my God, I just showed up here. I don't have to take care of everything. So be a good follower. That's another ship to learn. Just shut your big old mouth sometimes, right? Okay? You know what I mean? Just shut your big old mouth. I know. Hardship. So I want you to understand that without hardship, then you really are not able to recognize, the goodness that comes from that. Sometimes we're like, I don't want to fail. I'm afraid that I might look crazy. Well, sometimes hardship looks like illness or injury, or it could be divorce, natural disasters, or death even. Some court decisions or laws. Hardship. People are experiencing these things all the time. So as a leader, you do want to recognize and have empathy. You want to have patience because people are living their lives and things are happening. So you want to understand hardship. And oh, by the way, who wants to follow a person who has never endured anything? I don't. I do not. I mean, that means who are you? Are you Jesus? Right? That's the only perfect person, right? So you want to understand, have empathy and awareness for hardship, and you yourself will endure hardship. If you have not, then keep living. Let's see other ship. So we talked about scholarship, followership, and hardship. Now let's focus on mentorship. Mentorship. You want to be a mentor, and then you want to seek mentors. Someone who might be just 4 or 5 steps ahead of you on a particular thing, right? Someone with, maybe they have already learned how to wax the floor, right? You're like, well, how do I do that? Like I wanted to grow some. I love blueberries. I want to learn how to plant my own blueberry bush out here. And so I talked to a friend of mine. She's got all kind of things in her garden. And she was telling me what type of soil and all that kind of stuff, what I need to do to protect it from the weather. So she was mentoring me in that arena. The thing died though, right? I didn't do so well. So I'm going to start over. I'm going to start over here in the next few months. The other things did survive, but my blueberries did not. So what I'm saying to you is make sure that you have a mentor in whatever area. They don't have to look like you. They don't need to be, if you're a woman, they don't need to be a woman. They don't need to be, they could be a man. They could be white, black, short, tall. They could be an Asian. They could be in a different industry. You just want someone who is, first of all, willing, right? And have a few steps ahead of you. And then willing to give you some conversation, some time. And then it might last, that relationship might last for um, as long as it takes to drink some tea or something, right? Your favorite beverage. Or it could last for a week, a month, year, or decades. So mentoring, get you a bunch of them, right? Get some people that's going to give you some guidance, and then you step back and provide guidance to others. That's how that works, right? That's how that works. So we talked about scholarship, followership, hardship, and mentorship. Mentors are gold. You hear me? Now don't be the take person. Make sure you give to the relationship. That's based on boundaries and privacy and trust. That's what that is based on, right? And then just when we talk about um, leadership. So leaders help themselves and others to do the right things at the right times, right? Leaders set direction, provide inspiring vision. You cannot delegate vision, by the way. And leaders get results, right? So that's about leadership. So leadership is about mapping out where you're going to go. Leadership is really about vision. So we want to have that ship, definitely. Vision, getting results, setting direction, right? Being able to communicate effectively. And then relationships, my favorite. Let's just spend a few minutes on relationships. So we talked about leadership, scholarship, right? Followership, hardship, and mentorship. Now let's focus on relationships. Ooh, this is everything, right? And again, relationships is about boundaries and privacy. Always consider that. Always consider that. Now, how do you build good relationships? You want to always look at an opportunity. Every opportunity you have to engage with your team, then you want to do that. You don't want to be so busy that you're not able to have a conversation, or that you think you got to send an email for everything, or a text, or you're in a chat, or something that's impersonal, unless that's just the way it is for now. So for right now, go ahead and put in the comments. Tell me where you are watching the Better You TV from. Where are you? Like, what state are you in? Put that down in the comments for me. We're building a relationship right now. I want to know where you're from, right? You see how I did that? So we're virtual, and I want to engage with you. And so that's what I want you to do. And you're looking at, oh, you're in Kentucky. I know you're in Kentucky. But then again, you might be in any state in the union at any time. Oh, you travel a lot. You want to make sure you have authentic conversation with folks, and you want to celebrate milestones and life events. Now, I don't know about celebrate. Maybe that's not the right word. You want to acknowledge milestones and events. That's what we're talking about, relationships, right? And you want to make sure when you have people that are coming into your organization, it's called onboarding. Onboarding. You said it. Carrie said a state of happiness. Hold up. The state of happiness. I wonder how many coats I gotta have to be in the state of happiness. I wonder how many coats I gotta have for that at this moment. Lord have mercy, Minnesota. So anyway, so relationships, right? Onboarding for people that are new to the organization. You want to reach out to them prior to them stepping in and giving them, hey, this is the door you come into. When you come in, you want to have a badge, or, just let them make them feel at home, welcome. And you want to say, these are all the manuals, the travel manuals you're going to have to, look at before you can go on a trip. And this is how you do this. And, all those things. You want to help them. This is the bathroom, go on that floor, all those things. And, oh, by the way, this is our work. This is showtime for work. This is what time we leave. We're doing virtual on these days, whatever it is. You want to make sure that you onboard people properly. As far as relationships, you want to have positive relationships. And you want to, as a person that's leaving the organization, you want to sit down and have a conversation with them. You don't want to just say deuces. Yeah. Thanks for showing up. You want them to leave in a manner in which when you see them again or talk to them again or your name comes up, that it is positive and respectful, right? You want to treat them as if they mattered to you for what they gave to the organization and to you during that time, right? So you want to focus on relationships. That's my favorite, right? That's my favorite. Okay, so there you go. So we focused on 6 ships. And I just started this thing out with talking about avoiding dictatorships, right? And taking into consideration courtships and friendships and where that might fall in this thing, right? We want to have looking at guardianship and flagship. But what we focused on primarily for this episode were 6: leadership, relationship, scholarship, followership, hardship, and mentorship. And now, really quickly, we just got like 1 more minute for you. Which ship can you most relate to? Which ship? SHIP. And again, we're not talking about that fleet of ships in the water. I'm a Scrabble girl, right? Although I'm a proud military veteran, talking about the words that end in ship, SHIP. I mostly talk about Scrabble. I love Scrabble, right? So which ship did you most relate to or resonate with? Whoa. I don't see you. I don't see you in chat. Okay, I'm thinking relationship. Well, I'm thinking for Mo, it was scholarship and maybe mentorship for Carrie, right? That's what I'm thinking. Or relationships. That's probably good too. Well, with that said, we're going to go ahead and close this out with, we're doing a Makeover Your Leadership 3-day retreat, December 18th through the 20th. And I have a few people signed up. I see you. Okay, Melissa said relationships. Okay, I see you. We have a few people signed up. And I tell you what, in my own head, I'm thinking I need to push this thing out to January because I don't know. I don't know how many people really want to sit with me for 3 days next week. And I'm going to pray about it and then I'll give y'all some feedback, right? I'm serious. I'm smiling and I'm serious. I'm a little distracted too, by the way, to be quite honest with you. So we might be moving it to January. I know, right? So with that said, let's close this thing out. So Makeover Your Leadership is a 3-day retreat. And I'm excited about it. And yet I know that there's a lot going on. So with that said, you all make it a great day. And if you can't make it great, make it wonderful. My name is Angela Odom, and I'm lead strategist for the Better You Project. I am rooting for you. Take care. Relationship and scholarships. I see you. Relationships and scholarships. Okay. And relationships. Okay, I see you. All right, you all make it a great day. Take care.